Welcome back to Album versus Album. And as we do album versus album all the time, people put in requests, they love it. And like right now, this person is trying to debate me about you can't have the same artist battle album for album. That's like battling yourself. I'm like, no, it isn't. It's saying which project was better than the other one. As this one, we're gonna do Common Sense. He was Common Sense at the time, but it's the same artist, Common. The Resurrection versus B. Those two albums are, arguably some of his best work. And you look at The Resurrection, and to be honest, that whole album is you're talking about something timeless. This is part of, you know, just Southside Chicago, basically. The east side of Stony, and the west side of Stony. This whole album is really based on Chicago. The lyrics is top notch. I Used to Love Her is the first universal song that everybody could get. I was shocked because people gravitated to the album as much as they did. By him really being unknown, he got unfairly like judged. They just like we don't really know what he's talking about. So songs like The Book of Life, other word songs that didn't get picked up, and I like Pop's rap. I like some It I Wrote. These this is a rapper's album. Like Jay-Z would listen to this album. Matter of fact, this is one of Jay-Z's favorite albums. Like Check the Method, Nothing to Do. All of these songs and the things that he spoke about on Resurrection was like, this is my life and what I go through where I'm from, Stony. So people could relate to that. Because if you was either on the west side or the east side of Stony, it was still the same. It was a soft side album. It's where we're from. And that was it. No ID crushed it with the production, communism, communism, and come on. To me, this is a landslide. I like the B album, but we're talking about Resurrection being one of the best albums of all time. It's in that conversation for hip hop album. So definitely, it's definitely one of those albums that you got to put on that list. Now, let's take up the rest of the album. I mean, not the rest of them, but the actual other records that he made. In other words, let's take B. This is when he resurrected his career. This is when Common wasn't being heard anymore because he was going on some spaced out journey when he was with Erica Badu, and everybody blamed her for his transition into a whole nother realm. B was his sixth album, and it was, sorry about that, I'll answer him later. It was very well received. by everybody. Like collectively, it was the old Common back. Like when the food came out, we was like, "Whoa!" in the corner and Testify. I'm like, "Whoa, this is Common." He was back because you haven't heard this Common in a while. Like Water for Chocolate was another one that was similar, but it was missing something. This was it. This brought back the soul sound. This brought back, it brought back a lot. So, as this went on, and he's still looked at right now as like the Marvin Gaye of rap. But when you listen to The Corner, Go, or Testify, and all these type of songs that he had out, The Food with Kanye, that just really set it because we hadn't really seen anything from him in a while till we saw on the Chappelle show when Kanye West came out, and this is the first time like Kanye was really featured the way he was on this on the Food, and it was on Dave Chappelle when him and Common was there, and the way the concept was when the other one would rap, the other one would be in the background in the kitchen doing something. Then when the other one rapped, the other person was in the back. It was the whole concept of the video and everything just reminded us of being at home in the crib in your environment. This was the most universal album that he had, even though he put out Shy City, and then the records were condensed, meaning that it was only 11 tracks on the album. It was a real short album. For records, the whole album is like 40 minutes. If it wasn't for It's Your World Part 1 and 2, that was it. Like you wouldn't have seen too much of anything. This was almost completely done by Kanye West. Jay Dilla did the Love Is track, which is dope too, by Jay Dilla. It's just that Resurrection, this is a more completed album as far as the mixing, production. It's more of a complete album. It's a grown up album. It's more universal than Resurrection. Resurrection is better to me lyrically, and I can relate to it. I'm from Shy. I can relate to a lot of the things he's talking about in the album, where a lot of people probably wouldn't gravitate to it. So if you choose B, I would understand. Like if you from St. Louis or you from Hackensack, New Jersey, or somewhere, and you be like, I love that B album over the Resurrection. I can understand that, but you look at all these other songs like Real People, They Say, this is a complete album. Like by far, to me, it's one of his best. Right next to Resurrection, you got the B album. They right back to back. So it's hard to pick one over the other, but Resurrection to me is always gonna stand out as the all-time hip hop classic because it took you back to that culture of being a young 22, 21-year old in the hood. You're not really worried about bills and none of that reality has really hit you yet fully. You just know, yo, I'm chilling, I'm in the hood, this is what we do. We gotta man, and he just talking about what we got to do to get to the next level. It's what young dudes think about at that time. Like, man, this is what's wrong with the world, man. We got to fix it because you think you could be the difference at that time. But definitely, this is a very hard choice to make. And to me, Resurrection is by far, to me. Just that's my personal, but I would understand anybody that said B was better. I would understand where you came from. Other than that, it's your boy Carcino. I'm out. Peace.